Hello, I'm urnotjustin, and I have some incredibly exciting news for you. There is now a fix for this item. The most cursed item in the entire game, the Prime 2 Karambit. When this first came out, a lot of people were really upset about this animation. The pull-out animation. People felt that you had to essentially upgrade this to get rid of the cool animation and replace it with this sort of box cutter type animation. And I covered this in a video that came out like almost a year ago. So how did they fix this animation? What are they going to do? In my previous video from almost a year ago, I told you that they would add the option to toggle your levels on and off. And that's exactly what they did. And today I'm going to explain that to you. Alrighty, hello, big news. Let's dive right into it. The Valorant PvE is a place where you can go to test stuff that doesn't go to the live server site. It's essentially a testing server that has a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter on it. All the skins are free on it, the maps come to it early, some new balance changes come to it early. The server is dedicated to testing. Now that you know what the PvE is, the official Valorant PvE Reddit pinned a thread on October 8th that says this. This is for the Valorant 3.08 PvE patch notes. October 8th will focus on the following pending changes. Store updates, equipable skin levels. You should be able to equip any skin level except on variants, which will always default to the max skin level. Please verify if VFX are working properly in the collection page when a different skin level is equipped. Please verify that the skin level is properly brought into the game. So there you have it, folks. What does that mean? Like you saw in the clip in the very beginning of this video, it means that we are finally going to have the option to toggle skin levels off and on. And I will get into how I kind of feel about this and tell you guys some stuff that you might be feeling as well. But I'm trying to give you guys the facts first. So in this clip here, which is from the PvE right now, you can see the typical collection menu and you can see that somebody is looking at their Reaver knife. Now you can go through and select which level that you want and you can set the level. There's a literal button that says set level. So it's pretty much guaranteed that if you don't like the way that the Prime Karambit looks, then you now have the option to revert it back to level 1, which is awesome. I know a lot of people really prefer the level 1 Prime Karambit and they don't like the level 2 Prime Karambit. So it now gives them the option to go back. And as well, before I'm asked, the answer is yes. You can do this with every single weapon in the game, not just melees. So let's take a look at that right now. You can see that the set level button is there, but something that's incredibly interesting about this and honestly kind of concerning is the message above set level that says variants must be set with the fully upgraded weapon skin level equipped. And I know that reading that at a first glance might be really confusing to some people. It really caught me off guard when I first read it. It's very weirdly and specifically worded. I could be wrong, I'm not entirely sure, but what I think that this means is that you can't have a variant equipped without having the previous levels equipped. And to try to dissect that sort of sentiment for you, because this is all kind of confusing stuff, especially because it's new, the best example that I could give to explain this to you adequately is that the recent collection, the RGX 11Z Pro collection, had the level 5 variant removed, the kill counter. You can no longer upgrade to that because it was causing FPS drops. And because of that, you're not able to get the variants anymore because you can't fully upgrade that skin collection. It has 5 levels of upgrades and you can no longer fully upgrade it. And since that is the case, you cannot get the variants because in order to get the variants, you need to have a fully upgraded weapon. I'm really sorry that this is super confusing, but I'm going to give you another example. If you were to have the Prime Vandal and you really like the orange and white and blue variant, but for some reason you don't like the reload animation, you could not have the orange, white, and blue variant with the default reload animation, simply because that's just not how the game is coded, I suppose. So what you would have to opt to do is you could go and you could set your Prime Vandal from max level to not having the finisher and just having the reload animation and the sounds, or to not having the finisher and the reload animation to just having the sounds, or to not having any upgrades whatsoever. So unfortunately, it is kind of looking like there is a slight catch-22 with the variants and choosing which animation you want to have and stuff like that. And as of right now, there is absolutely no word on whether or not this is going to be updated and made better, or what they're going to do in regards to the upgrades for this and the toggle system. But this is what we know now about the current toggle system that's on the PvE. And once it comes out into the full game, there could be more options. It could be a little bit more flexible, but we have no current idea yet of what's about to happen with it. As well, we also don't know when this is going to hit the live servers. So we have a lot to look forward to. And despite this not being exactly what I want, and maybe exactly what we as a community want, which I will get into, this is still great news nonetheless. But now I am going to talk about how I'm sort of feeling about it. And you know, there's always good and bad stuff with everything that we hear about Valorant. I understand that nothing can be perfect and that development is very complicated, and that I myself am not a developer. I'm just a consumer that has wants and needs. I think I can speak for myself and for a lot of people when I say that Something that kind of sucks, in my opinion, and again, we have no idea which direction that this toggle option is going to go. It could go either way, at least for what we know right now. But something that disappoints me a little bit is that I was more expecting the toggle system to be that you could mix and match and be creative with the variants and the animations of your weapons. I was sort of under the impression that you could, if you wanted to, have the prime karambit and have the VFX on it, not the pullout animation, but the VFX, like the lights on it, but keep the default pullout animation. That's what I thought was going to come into the game. I was under the impression that if you wanted to, that you could have the prime vandal with whatever variant you want and get rid of the reload animation. That's not what I want to do, but I was under the impression that I would at least have the option to do that. And this sort of bums me out because with the way that I was expecting it to be, I thought that it was going to open up a really creative avenue for people who have skins to sort of mix and match like animations and pull out stuff and, you know, all that sort of thing, and just be really creative with it. And you could be even more specific with your style and individual as a player on this game. So it's kind of sad, you know, but again, we do not know what way this is going to actually come out into the live game. We do not know how this is going to evolve moving forward. Something that's interesting about this is the timing. Seemingly, you know, you could say that the catalyst for this has been the kill counter dropping the FPS and them having to remove that. And it's really interesting because it all sort of ties into each other in a way, right? And I know that's not necessarily true, but I think that the timing for this option is very good simply because of something like that. They've been working on this for the past 7 months. I covered the video on it 7 months ago, where I talked about how the developers did in fact confirm that this feature was going to come before 2021 ended. And ever since then, on a video with like 800,000 views, I've been getting hundreds and hundreds of comments being like, hey, still waiting. Yo, you told us that this was going to come into the game. Were you lying to us? Were those screenshots fake? Like, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. And you know, for a minute, I thought like, oh man, dude, like, what if it's actually not coming? 2021 is going to be over really soon. So like, what if it doesn't actually come? So it is cool that, you know, they kept their word and that 2021 is not over yet. And they have just announced this into the PBE. That's great stuff. Right now, what we know is incredibly bare bones, and I have a feeling that it might stay bare bones, but there is a small little bit of hope for me that maybe this is just the beginning of something that they're going to evolve into something way better. Honestly, what I am really holding out for is for them to make an entirely new in-game collection interface, so that way you can sort of switch between your skins way easier, as well as be able to have more skins equipped, like for attacker and defender side and stuff like that, which I do believe will come. But the interface is something that is kind of iffy. In my opinion, they made the interface for the collection designed specifically for beta and for the beginning of the game launching, when there were no skins or sprays in the game, when there was very few of them. And now that the game has evolved so far from what it was, it's like, it's so out of touch and outdated because there's just so much stuff that's in the game. And there needs to be a menu, a drop-down menu for every skin in the game, every spray, every title, every card, that you can sort them by color, date gotten, theme, whatever. All I'm saying is that that menu needs a lot of organization. But anyways, I've been chatting for long enough. Let me know what you guys think about this new feature that's coming to the game and how excited you are for it and what you're looking to upgrade essentially. Let me know what features you would like to come to the game soon that you think the game needs. And yeah, like the video, subscribe if you're new, click the bell for notifications so you don't miss the video, even if there's a flood. And as always, I'm Justin and you're not. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.